Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another high-level Marvel Rivals ranked cast here in Season 3. We're heading to Celestial Husk, the newest map. And we've got quite a few familiar names here. On the blue team, we've got Jibory, Hogz, MACE, Chime, Steady. We've got some amazing names. I'm going to pronounce this one wrong, zmigas. And on the other side, we got a bit of an EU super team, EMEA super team. Nevix, SparkR, Sypeh, sorry, Woofles. I don't really know Roransu, so I'll have to keep an eye on them. And Blainey, who is also working with Virtus.Pro, I believe, as a coach. We're starting off. Emma and a universal Wolverine ban. Hey, we got like the only real anti-tank character in the game. What if we gave them lifesteal to make them even harder to take out? That's what we rolling with here. Zmigas was actually looking at an Iron Man here, a character who we saw barely any of and also got nerfed in the recent patch. So very interesting to see that being hovered. I have been seeing some very minor rumblings of Squirrel Girl potentially getting in to see a little bit more play due to the burst potential that Iron Man team-up does offer, but the problem is Iron Man in that team-up. Well, we'll have to see. Chime looking to bring us in with a Namor here, and Hogz. They came onto my radar right when I started doing YouTube due to their incredible Hulk play. They're going to start us off on the Captain America here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them swap back to the Hulk for a bit of a rollout, but it looks like they're just going to side against it. Chime looking at the BP, so they're just going to let this go. Hogz on the Penny. Very interesting here. Well, we'll see what they roll out with here. On the other side, Blainey's going to be running with the Doctor Strange. Nevix on that Magneto. And they're going in for a portal. Ah, I see. A little bit of a team up with the Penny. An invisible woman here would be perfect to try and pull people through the portal. But they're just going to let them get bopped by the mines. An absolute blow up onto Nevix, utilizing the portal. And now Chime looking on this Black Panther to try and pressure onto the backline. Roransu on the Punisher, going to get blown out of that culling turret. Will retreat down to the low ground to try and control the point as they all try and turn around to deal with that Captain America that's being harassing them from Hogz. Numbers advantage currently in favor of the red team. But diving into the backline, Hogz is still going to try and make it happen. Isolating Woofles, but a quick turnaround from Roran is able to keep the team topped up. The more I say Roransu, I think I might have cast them before. That sounds familiar in my mouth in terms of names to say. Pause. 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 Into Jibory coming in. Roransu going to be taking out Chime here as we go with the Fate of Both Worlds. On that Guard of Mischief, keep the team pushing on. Sypeh going to be mirroring the same thing, but gets taken out before they can Fate of Both Worlds. Woofles drops low, Steady on this Phoenix, getting the pickup, gets the double there. With the Cosmic Flames into the Spark Explosions. Entering free flight, decides not to dive all the way up to the high ground though. Would rather just keep control. Point claimed by blue team. So this is a mostly America's team versus a mostly EMEA team, I believe. Nice stun there. Trying to keep control. Pushing onto the point. MACE shield broken, forced down to the low ground. In the meantime, Chime looking for someone on the wraparound. Blainey with the Eye of Agamotto trying to get onto Jibory, but Jibory with that regeneration domain is going to shut that down. Woofles with the Fate of Both Worlds for the mirror. And Song Inferno into the backline. Breaks through the shield shard and allowing Chime. In the meantime, in the backline, takes out the Punishers. And SparkR not finding anything for their team there, but it's going to start getting the explosions. Trying to deal with Chime, who takes out Sypeh as well. And this is looking a little bit rough. SparkR forced into a full retreat, and now they've got Black Panther and Captain America trying to chase them down, forcing the retreat. Steady just going to keep control here. They have the defense position. This is currently a dominant setup for blue team. Here in what I believe is the Celestial Hand, if I remember the map points on this. Ivakomono going to be coming out, trying to dive onto Spark, and they were looking for a turnaround as here comes the final judgment to push on forward. BDRM, a little bit of counterplay as well, melts through MACE, and they are doing huge damage out of him, but it's not going to be enough to take them through. The Enquiries Inferno comes on out, and Chime is continuing to absolutely dominate here. Looks for SparkR, can't reach them. Forced to back away, just drops a little bit too low. Can't really turn it around and will get taken out. Jibory healing from a distance. Trying to just make sure that their team can sustain on through. Steady is down. MACE and Hogz currently trying to delay, trying to buy time to get this first point. Or will we start to see a red team flip over as Roran moving over to the start on so they can rotate back in quicker, takes out Hogz. And we will see a red team flip here. Doing big damage onto Roran in the backline. Keep it out for Chime though. On the hunt. Literally every time I look away from them, they seem to get these quick blow-ups. Excuse me. Jibory looking for an opening. Make sure the MACE stays topped up. Chime in the backline. Misses the first reset. And is forced to back away. This means that they're a little bit vulnerable right now. All of that mobility that they have is gone for another second. Gonna get focused on into the backline. Gets the map heal, but is taking a lot of extra damage. Stunned out beautifully there. SparkR with the turnaround as Ensong Inferno comes on out, takes out zmigas in the backline as they push on in for more. That's the pickup onto Steady. They burst through all the shields, through the Loki clones, and that's going to be red team keeping control there. And Chime, we've been seeing how people have been countering Wolverines with a little bit of the Hella, with the life drain, with the soul drainer. We're seeing a similar idea here with people trying to deal with Black Panther with that telekinesis burst. It's a little bit riskier, but that's what we are seeing coming in. Steady sending in the shots. A Phoenix egg waiting to hatch. Roran getting a lot of damage here. Ivakomono from Blainey trying to dive into the backline, onto the backline, but it's going to get healed up as the counter from Jibory. God of Mischief into the fate of both worlds to keep the team topped up. Ensong Inferno from Steady into the backline. Burst through the shields, but it's nowhere near enough damage for the set of Sypeh. And swapped over to the cloak, and Dagger goes in with a little bit of extra healing from that Eternal Bond. Great purple from the extra damage boost with the Terror Cape to try to allow them for the turnaround. This has given Blainey time to portal back in as the Galactic Legend melts on through 1, 2. Hogz goes down to Woofles. Great damage from Chime, but they are finished off. And red team with the 99-0 flip take the 100 and round number 1. Celestial Hand is down, and we are heading over to the Codex. I've actually seen the Vaults played the least so far. I don't know if that's intentional, but I rarely see the Vault. What are we going to see for adjustments? Looks like Hogz is going to adjust over to the Hulk. And Chime, are they actually going to make it out of the spawn this time? Moving off of the Black Panther onto the Demore. How have they been doing? Let's have a look. Currently sitting at 5 and 5. Could be better, could be worse. 4 and 5, you go by final hits, which is definitely what Black Panther is usually trying to set up. So they're going to take something a little bit more stable. Something that can help deal with that Star-Lord especially, who's the pseudo-flyer in this case. A little bit more defensive here, and it looks like Chime will be rolling out with this. Top damage, by the way, is going to be SparkR. One of the best hitscan characters, players in the game. They had some mental plays on Adam Warlock during Ignite. Now going to be bringing out the Phoenix. And already, remember, if you land headshots, that is 2 sparks. And you only need 3 for the explosion. Hogz already dropping low. Going in for the trade versus Steady. Will dash away. Doesn't want to get caught out of position here. Just let yourself get healed up with that Cosmic Flame. Using the telepathic illusion to get out of danger. And Chime just trying to deal with the fact that they are being dove. But remember, the Maul, with that buff, has a little bit of a projectile speed increase for those tridents. So the damage output is going to be solid. Insong Inferno to try and burst on through. Nevix takes out zmigas, and Roran wipes the Star-Lord. SparkR taken out by Steady, and this flank from Chime is working very well here. Onto the backline with the Gamma Monstro. And this is going to be, once again, another blue team first cap. Dominant first setup for them. Blainey just trying to lead the charge, but he doesn't want to run out too far ahead until their team is fully respawned. Sypeh sticking with this cloak and dagger. Went for the extra damage boost there with the Terror Cave, not finding a target. Chime taken down by Nevix. Here comes the Galactic Legend from Roar and Meteor M to absorb the damage. They drop the Iron Bulwark. Fate of both worlds has to be popped, and that is a worthwhile trade. More than happy to have that burned out. Enquiries Inferno, where's the target? Looks like it'll be the Hulk to try and burst on through. But Hogz tagging on through, buying a little bit of extra time, trying to push on in. Counter Enquiries Inferno from SparkR, takes out Steady. Ayamoto into the backline to try and take out jibory, but it's just overwhelming damage. Blainey drops low, will be finished off. Chime also barely standing, but the Monstros hold them through, taking out Nevix and SparkR. Pushing on in, doing some solid damage output here. But Chime forced to back away. Doesn't want to get mowed down by Roran here. Keep the pressure on. You can see those slight explosions. It's enough to take out Roran Steady. A grouped up enemies, exactly a situation that you want a Phoenix to be in, to try and spread those sparks out and get a massive chain explosion to just burst people down. Towards overtime right now, as we will have to see if Red Team can make their way to the point. Chime on the flank, Gamma and regular Monstros on a Proteus to stun them down. Roran is taken out, but Chime goes down to Blainey, who's on the flank, but no one can touch the point in time. We are 1-1. And blue team, they just seem to be so solid at gaining control and just keeping it for as long as possible. They have so far lost control once. They haven't seen a single turnaround outside of the one in map number 1 and map number 2. They just keep it. And this Namor seems to be the key. Look at the difference from 5-5 to 14-7. With 11 of those being final hits. This is working significantly better for Chime, which is why we've seen Roran go back over to that Punisher. Something that can just ping away at the squids a little bit quicker. We'll have to see if that is the tool that could work out for them. There's of course no Wolverine to just try and melt through the Vanguards who could just tank all that damage for you. Not a lot of options to deal with. And here we go. Portal play coming out from Blainey. Split the team in 2, go for a trap. Split the team in 2, go for a trap. Big engage, trying to get onto the Magneto here. Or onto Steady. Either one would be a solid target. Great shield to block the radioactive lockdown. Chime already caught into quite a blessing to get out of danger after they get targeted. Roran taken down by Hogz. SparkR going in for the Enquiries Inferno, but where? Taking out the Loki clones, removing them from the board. Fate of both worlds, though, keeping them sustained. And now you can hear those Monstros melding on through. Here comes the Meteor M from Nevix to try and burst on through, and they take out jibory. zmigas is also down. Both the Lunas taken down. Final judgment. Ayamoto, is it enough to vote through Hogz? Yes, it is. Hogz is down. Trying to get onto Chime, and final judgment will be enough to take them down. And for the first time, Red Team will be the team to take an early hold. Sypeh doing a fantastic job there. SparkR pigging in. Dropping shots from downrange. Damage output is good. Steady, dropped a little bit low, but it's healed up nice and quickly. You can see that extra healing over time. from those cosmic flames when you land those spark explosions. It's not quick, but it's enough. Ensong Inferno into the backline to try and take them down, but zmigas is able to tank on through. And SparkR now in a little bit of danger, is kind of being wrapped around on by both sides, but they're going to go in for the flank of their own here. Media M from MACE to try and burst on through. Takes out Roran. Once again, removing that Punisher from the play. Fate of both worlds from the God of Mischief. zmigas matching with the authentic deal. No bootlegs coming in here. Ensong Inferno taking them down. Steady sets that up fantastically. And blue team are looking for a flip here. EMEA getting blasted back here. Forced off the point. Indestructible guard coming in. And they're just going to hold the line for the moment. Blainey trying to lead the charge. They have 27 seconds for a portal. But we've already seen just how difficult it is to force blue team off the point once they have control. Red team have their work cut out for them now that this flip has happened. But they're going to try and make it. Try and create an opening. SparkR looking for the group ups. A lot of damage coming on in. Blainey. Excuse me. Trying to look for an opening. Getting focused down. That Eye of Agamotto is just hovering, waiting. Chime is just deep in the backline on a flank here. Waiting for that. Horde of Proteus into the backline. There comes the Ensong Inferno. Takes out 3. SparkR with the triple KO, meaning it's a melt off the board here. And we see Red Team in full control. Another flip. 61 to 65 of Red Team in the lead and in control. What a blow up. We'll have to see if I can rewind this by the end of the game if I remember to see if we can see what happened from SparkR. Last potential chance. Steady has the Ensong Inferno. Might be needed for an opener. Culling turret going to get melted out. Huge blow up with the headshot onto Roran. Here comes Hogz with the Hulk smash. Eye of Agamotto into the backline. Stuns out Hogz, which protects their own backline, giving them a little bit of extra time. Overtime is ticking down as blue team have to make their way onto the point. Steady. It's time for the Ensong Inferno at this point, just trying to bait out any of the defensive tools, and it's going to be Sypeh who comes on in with their own Fate of both worlds for the extra time. Ensong Inferno point blank from above, both sides. SparkR looking for the turnaround of their own as both teams trying to brawl on through. Strategist ultimates have expired. MACE has the Media M, but they need to make sure that there's a body on the board. If there's someone behind them, they might be able to turn this round. A lot of damage is coming on in Culling turret. They're forced to use the cover the best they can. Jibory, they've ultimated. They have the time with the God of Mischief. They can come in with that Fate of both worlds to buy the extra couple seconds that their team does need. As overtime is starting to tick on down, but they have to pull the trigger. Fate of both worlds comes on in. Chime, Horde of Proteus into the backline. Stuns out the low keys, but it's not enough for the pickups as it comes the final judgment. Roran coming on in. Fate of both worlds is not enough to sustain the Media M. Blainey with the Eye of Agamotto comes on in. Ensong Inferno from SparkR. Not enough to burst through anyone but zmigas, who is already going down. Steady. If they can survive this, they're almost all their way towards the Ensong Inferno, which means they won't be able to burn on through Blainey. But they are down. Steady is holding, is down. SparkR is holding. SparkR is driving them back, trying to deal with the Lokis once again on the flank, but they're forced off the point. And Red Team take the 2-1. SparkR, well-deserved MVP there. Looking at the statistics, 26-3, with 18 of them being final hits, 37k damage. That's 12k more than anyone else in the game. SparkR is just him. Damage blocked, 68k for MACE, giving their absolute best to try and hold the line for their team. Top healing, jibory, 52k. Doing huge work. Least amount of time it's getting taken out. Also, SparkR only going down 3 times. All right, let's see if I can do it. So it's in map 2. There it is. Boop. And we want SparkR, please. Point blank, directly above. Oh my god. Just perfect. Just beautiful. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed today's cast. I have been Tetcher. Reminder, if you want to support this channel, then you can do so by liking the video, commenting, subscribing, ringing that bell, sharing it with your friends. If you have a replay you would like me to cover, please send the replay code. Remember, Season 3 onwards, I have received so many requests to cover games from Season 2. The replays are gone. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I was busy on the time I had to record those. I really am sorry. I would love to be able to do it, but they're gone. I can't do that. But if you have a replay, please send me a replay code. We're looking for some high-level ranked plays. Or if you want to send something over and be like, hey, here are me and my bronze friends, I will do that. I'm not going to do it every game, but I will do that. I will do a couple, like, of just any rank. If people want me to do that commentary, send them over. Leave a code in the description below. And of course, if you really want to support the channel, you can become a member. You pay a monthly fee to get early, well, to mostly support me. We all know that the content is not worth the amount you pay, but if you want to support, then you can do so. You get your name shouted out. You get behind the scenes from LAN if I'm able to do so. You get, if I'm going to LAN, of course. You get the, what else do you get as a member? Early videos, name shouted out behind the scenes. Yes, those are the things. But yeah, you can become a member like Odium, Arso, Doki Pokey, and John, who all help keep this channel going and help with the operating costs. For now, though, I have to record like 2 more of these because I have to go away this week again. So thank you all very much for watching. I have been Tetcher, and I will see you all tomorrow.